Hi, good morning. We're here with Emily Smailes from e-marketing. How you doing, Emily?
Very well, thank you. Yeah, pleasure to be here.
Nice to have you with us. Thank you very much for joining the Business Spotlight series. So, if you could start us off and give us a little bit more background as to who you are, what you do, and how long you've been doing it for, please, Emily.
Yeah, so I'm Emily Smailes, the managing director here at eMarketing, and we are a digital marketing agency. And essentially, what that means is making sure that your online presence is phenomenal. So that's through things like social media, paid ads, SEO, production, email marketing, and websites. So predominantly dealing with your online structure and how you appear online. The reason I do it is because typically I find a lot of businesses don't actually match what their physical presence is with their online presence. So a lot of businesses have a fantastic business that gets incredible referrals physically, but then as soon as a potential lead comes and searches them online, they're then let down. And what our job is to match those two things and ensure you're as professional in person as you are online.
Fantastic. So that's a really good description of what you do because it's such a competitive industry in terms of digital marketing agencies and online offerings with AI coming into the mix as to lower cost alternatives to agencies and things like that. So what would you say, expanding on that, is kind of the difference or the competitive edge that you have to win business and attract clients, I guess?
So I'd say from a emotional point of view, our passion and enthusiasm definitely sets us apart. We've been told that it's very infectious, because we genuinely do care and we genuinely are excited and we do want to make a difference. And that's very much instilled into every single member of the team. So we have that buzz and energy that I think other agencies don't have. And then in terms of a service point of view, we have all of our production in-house. So a lot of other agencies that may, let's say, manage social media will take a client on and then say, okay, content then needs to match the level of service that we're delivering, and we'll outsource that. But here we invest in the production equipment. So we invest heavily into, as you can see behind me, all the podcast equipment, drones, lighting, microphones, pretty much everything across the board to ensure that you look good and that's delivered from us internally.
A real authentic approach to what you do. That's definitely coming across. That's
Yeah,
brilliant. So, in terms of your business journey today, how long you say you've been going?
4.5 years I've been in marketing.
4.5 years. What would you say that journey's been like to date? If there's one word you could describe it and expand on it, what comes to mind straight away?
I would say incredibly exciting. I absolutely love what I do, and I think that's something that can't be faked. It can't be put on. You either do or you don't, and I tell that from somebody. And I do. I genuinely love it. I live and breathe it. As people that know me will say, she works constantly, but that's because I don't split the two things. My fun is my business. Um, and I absolutely live and breathe it.
That definitely comes across. I love that answer. The passion with how you express what you're doing, obviously runs across into the work that you do. So, what are the biggest challenges ahead, and what are the biggest opportunities for you as an agency in this marketplace?
Yeah, so I'd say into 2025, growth is a massive thing for us. We're seeing high demand in what we offer, which is, I guess, a good key indicator that we're doing something right. And I would just like to continue on that growth journey, continue being the trend and setting the trend, keep smiles on both the clients' faces and the team's faces, and just keep growing. But I guess with that, to answer your question about challenges, growth can be a challenge. Teething problems, bigger team means more organization, keeping everybody on track, keeping everybody aligned. So I guess they would probably be challenges I would expect to see in 2025.
Great stuff. Thank you. Good share. And in terms of your biggest lesson to date, what would that be if you've got to reflect on where you've come from to where you are now? What would that share?
I would say the biggest lesson is business isn't easy. And it takes immense drive and immense resilience. And I think to be the best or the best you can be, you have to devote everything, because that is it's unbeatable. So I'd say you've got to live and breathe it. It's got to be your everything. And I think that comes with challenges, because naturally, you know, there might be some events that you might want to go to, family, friends, and sometimes you have to, I mean, I'm saying sometimes diplomatically, I always put my business first, but
Yeah.
you I think to be the best, you have to do that.
So you've mentioned a couple of things there. Resilience, which is very, very true in terms of what we see here at Action Coach, in order to pick yourself up from things that might not go your way or probably won't go your way at certain points, but you know, the failure leads to success. Have you had any sort of stories you can share about where you've perhaps things haven't gone to plan, but then you've come back?
Yeah, I guess so. In terms of where it may not have gone to plan, you can't predict everything in business. And as much as you try and forecast, things change, the world changes. You know, we've just had the budget, that's put a bit of a spanner in the works. And that's something that you can't predict, and you have to just take it. And I personally, I enjoy seeing challenges as not so much negatives, but positives of how can I learn from this and how can I be better. And I think from challenges that do come, you just have to think, how is this going to progress my business forwards rather than set it back?
Fantastic. So what advice would you give to someone just starting out? Is it reflective of what you've just said, or is there any sort of specific piece of advice for if someone came to you and said, Emily, I'm wanting to start a business, what would you say to them?
I'd say, yeah, mirroring what I said about the resilience and the grit, definitely don't underestimate that. Because if you want to stand out, you know, people can run businesses, but to run successful ones that have that drive and forwards motion, you have to devote everything to it. And I think that's something that you shouldn't underestimate, but equally not underestimate how many people rely on you. Particularly in my space, if you're a successful marketing agency, your sales and your marketing should be very intrinsically linked. So our businesses rely on our marketing for their sales and for their lead inbounds and for the people that are coming in and for the team even as well, you know, making sure they look like the right kind of business for recruitment. And that is so important. So a lot of people rely on you, your team relies on you, your clients rely on you, and you've always got to be performing.
So how do you, with an interesting point there, you know, you're a marketing agency and you're putting yourself out there to help clients win new business and raise their profile and brand exposure and that kind of thing. Do you have, and obviously you have a team that helps create that content and that exposure for your clients. Do you mix what people do for you as employees or as part of a team with they help sell, or do you have a separate sales person and marketing person? How does that kind of balance mix in your team there?
Internally, the team works on client work, but equally, naturally, they sell, because
Yeah.
anybody that they come across that says, "Oh, you know, what are you up to?" They're excited about it, and naturally that comes across, and they want to speak highly of the business because they love it, and that is golden to me.
Yeah.
So I think internally, not we, you know, we don't have sales members. I typically do all the selling, but the team naturally do it because they love what they do.
Fantastic. So what's your inspiration then? Is it, well, I'll leave it to you in your own words, because there's a number of things that I could assume, but yeah, what makes you sort of want to keep doing it and have that passion that you've got?
Um, I think I've always wanted to run a business. My father runs Feather Smailes Scales in Harrogate, and his grandfather had it. And there's a natural history in my family of running a business. And I think my makeup is very much suited towards that. So I'm very resilient and very driven. And I guess I've been saying the whole time that everything goes into it. And I'm an all or nothing kind of person, and that's just been bred into me.
Fantastic. So in terms of any sort of latest news about what you're up to, just before we end, feel free to share that. And if people want to get in touch with you, share on your website or any contact details, again, please feel free to do that.
Yeah, and I guess the main protocol of where we update people is our social media pages naturally. So we're always adding new content onto our Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, LinkedIn. My LinkedIn is probably the place to go for more business insights. And yeah, just keep an eye out on there for any new updates. My contact details are emily@e-marketingagency.co.uk, and my phone number is 07811 983 866.
Awesome. We'll get that shared out, and I'll put the social tags on the videos when we share them as well. Emily, it's been really good talking with you. Thank you very much for sharing all that you have, and I wish you all the best for future success of the business.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Pleasure speaking with you, Mike.